Today we're having the two best and strongest power DPS characters in the game, Mavuika and Arlecchino. And you might be wondering which one is stronger, worth pulling, more flexible, etc. So in today's video, we'll be comparing between these two, discussing every detail possible, including their pros and cons, besides showcasing both characters with their possible teams. So let's get into it. Starting with the skill and normal attacks. Arlecchino does most of her damage using her normal attacks after using this skill and waiting for a few seconds to get the highest damage and longer bond of life. And compared to Mavuika, her attacks are a bit faster, especially if you're using Mavuika on hold, doing the spinning with her motorcycle. And what I like to do is to normally attack when there is only one boss, so not to lose time spinning. As for the elemental burst, in this case Mavuika shines more, dealing the most damage in her ult than her skill. And compared to Arlecchino, who does not need it, and in fact it's better if not used it, as it resets the bond of life to 0. Though it deals damage just fine, but it's best if you use it only when you need healing, cause, you know, it's her only source of healing during combat. But still, we'll be comparing the skill and all damage of both characters later in the video. Now for the elemental reactions. Arlecchino shines best with Vaporize, meanwhile Mavuika relies on Melt to give the best damage outcome. Though both of them perform pretty well with Vaporize and Melt, but in Arlecchino's case, it's most recommended to use a Hydro character like Yelan or Xingqiu, so their Hydro strikes go with their Pyro attacks same time, making sure that their reaction is still happening and you don't need a specific range to keep their reaction ongoing, like using Layla or Diona where you need to stay in their cryo circle. And for Mavuika, it's just a matter of getting higher numbers with Melt. And other than those two reactions, you can use Overload as well, Virgin, and maybe Monopyro, but unlike Lenny, they need reactions to do high damage. So that was everything about their kit. Let's go now check on their pros and cons, and starting with Arlecchino. Her normal attacks are quick, you don't need to use her burst to reach the highest damage, and so no worrying about energy recharge. Second, she is more free-to-play friendly than Mavuika, like using Xingqiu instead of Yelan would still be perfect, or use them both. And Bennett, who's also 4 stars, with a 4th character like Zhongli or Kazuha, or even Sucrose. And you don't need her weapon, any other 5 or 4 stars weapons could work just fine. And third, she is more flexible in team comps, and lastly, she is good in exploration, flying with her wing. And for the disadvantages, she only got one actually, which is her bond of life, and not getting healed by other characters, and to be honest, it's still not that big of a deal. You can add a shielder like Zhongli and use her burst whenever is needed and you'll be just fine. So it's not that major thing that stops you from pulling. And also a little detail that I wanted to mention in this category is that when using her skill, her damage starts at peak and then drops with her bond of life, but gets higher again after you use the skill. So moving on to Mavuika, her ultimate nuke damage is by far the strongest in the game. Her skill damage numbers might be lower than Arlie, but her ult makes up for it. She has an advantage against the Night Soul enemies, and another thing, which is a huge advantage, unlike Arlecchino, she could be used as DPS and support, though she's best as DPS, but can also work as a support totally fine. Also, she doesn't need energy recharge, and lastly, she's so fun in exploring. You can drive on land, on water, climb on mountains, and fly as well. And it has a longer duration than Arlecchino flying. As for her disadvantages, she's not really free-to-play friendly, and she needs Nalan characters with her to perform well and get her burst back on time, besides the buffs she gets from a very specific characters like Setlali and Shilonen. And so that was the comparison between these two in terms of kit and playstyle. Now, let's go showcase them, see their numbers, and I'm gonna use Arlecchino's ultimate team, and then use Setlali and maybe Shilonen with her, while testing the all damage so it'd be fair. So let's get started. Okay, so now let's try the overall performance of both characters, trying in the Spiral Abyss, and starting with Arlecchino. Let's check on her build, that's the weapon. I'm giving her a 5 stars weapon, but it's not her signature. I actually want to pull for it, but I need to save as well. For the set, I'm running this one on her. It's her best set, and these are my stats. And I just want to mention that I have her C1, so there might be a slight damage increase, so put that in mind. And Talon's triple crowned, and that's her ratio. And yep, let's go. Okay, so let's go here. So we'll be testing on the first half of Chamber 1. This enemy is a great test subject for this. Okay, so basically most of the time I use Zhongli with her. It's more comfortable, and I don't need to worry about her HP going down. But in this case, we want to focus more on the damage, so I guess I'll be putting Kazuha, and so then Arlecchino, Yelan, and of course Bennett. Alright, let's go. Okay, here we are. Of course, starting with Arlecchino's skill, then Kazuha swirling the pyro, Bennett, Yelan ult, the skill, and then Arlecchino. Now look at that damage. She is insane for real. Just easily with my normal attacks, and the boss is already being tortured. Okay, let's end with the ult. Okay, maybe not. Okay, perfect. Now, for Mavuika, let's see. That's the best team I have for her. Sadly, I don't have Setlali, so I'm using Rosaria and Farina instead of Shalonen. And of course, the best Bennett. And also for her build, I'm having this weapon on her, but actually, I don't know if I should give her the 5 stars one. The thing that this one has lower crit rate, so this one has 11 crit rate, but this 27. It's actually a notable difference, so I'm gonna keep this one. For the set, she has the Obsidian Codex. These are the pieces, and she's C0. The talents 1 crown, and the skill is 9. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what can we do. Okay, here we are. Gonna use Farina first, then Bennett, Rosaria, and let's see. Oh, I actually forgot to use her skill first. Should we retry and see? I don't know. We might actually give it another chance. You know what? Let's try again. Let's see. Okay. Alright, similar damage. Yeah, pretty much similar damage. Okay, doing the rotation again. Come on, Farina, yes. Now. Yup, it's actually slower than Arlecchino without her ultimate team. But it's actually still doing good, you know. Okay, the rotation one more time. Oh, I did an achievement. What was that? What did I do? Okay, that was definitely much slower. But don't worry, we're gonna test with her ultimate team, with Setlali and Shalonen like we said. You know what? I kinda wanna try budget Arlecchino as well. You know what? That would be more fair. I kinda wanna do that. And I'm gonna use Zhongli instead of Kazuha this time, with Arlecchino again, and adding Xingqiu, as here's the third play Elan, and Bennett. And also let me change her weapon to make it even more fair. Gonna give her the Battle Pass one. Okay, and let's go. Never forget the skill first. Gonna use Zhongli. Okay. Alright. Still amazing damage. Still amazing damage. She is slaying. Look at that. Oh my god. Do you see the difference? Was that even faster than my ultimate team? I mean, you see, that's something you should consider when getting both characters. But definitely I was able to finish with both of them. They're both pretty good. But now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test the ult damage of both characters with the ultimate team of Setlali and Shalonen, and then we'll be testing the skill damage as well. Okay, so now we have Setlali and Shalonen. We're ready to test both characters, and we'll be starting with the ult first. We'll be testing with the Scar boss, with Raiden Shogun, and some world bosses. We're gonna test the damage everywhere. So alright, let me put Bennett. Okay. Ooh, 1 million already. Okay. Alright, it's time. Okay, Bennett. And let's see. Ooh, nice. Over 2 million. I told you, she's so OP for real. So that was her nuke damage. She's so impressive. And now let's go and check how much can we get with Arlecchino. And testing her ult as well. And then after that, we'll be testing the skill damage. Okay, again, Bennett. Alright, now let's use the ult. What? Nothing happened. No number. Oh, okay, I guess we gotta do it again. It's a bit tricky using Setlali with her, but she also has such a great buff, so I need to see that myself. And I insist to see the damage. Okay, second try. Now, let's see. Okay, 800,000. Not bad, but such difference. Over 1 million difference. And again, that's even with C1. But we might give her another try, you know. It wouldn't hurt. Just to make sure that was a crit. I actually don't know if I should give her the Homa. Look at the ratio. The crit rate is so low. It's just 22. We would definitely suffer. I don't know if it's worth it or not. But on the other hand, we got over 300% crit damage. Maybe it wouldn't hurt. Let's give it a try. Okay, I actually want to try the ults again, but with Shogun this time. I want to see how do we do. I'm gonna try the skill here as well, but none this time. I don't want to kill her. I want to test the ult first. Alright. Here we go. Let's see. What the hell was that? Bro, I even do higher with my free-to-play team. And this one is C6 at Lolly, by the way. Okay, one more time. Okay, let's see again. Okay, 1.5 million. Okay, still pretty good. Skara has low resistance, so that's understandable. But let's try Arlie. Imagine we get higher here. Then that would mean there was something wrong before. Ooh, I'm on the Homa by fault. I forgot that I decided to use the Homa. 22 crit rate? I hope we crit, please. Alright. Okay. Are you kidding me? Okay, using the Homa was a bad idea. We're gonna do it again. Okay. Ah, it's lower. You see, so that's the difference. Now it's the time to test the skills. Alright. 80, around 80. I gotta tell you, Arlecchino gonna shine again here. Let's go. Though it's not her ultimate team for the skill, but let's see. I'm gonna prepare my Bond of Life. Let's see. Bro, I'm not gonna say anything. Now, what I want to do is fight normal bosses with no food buff, but with these characters as well. The food buff is still there, actually. Whatever, man. Okay. And just like that. Alright, disappeared. I think that was without the food buff. Let's go now to the mechanical boss. My old dummy. I think this boss was my first test subject. You saw how fast was that? There is something wrong. You know what? Let's try with this one. It's an annoying boss, but I think we can get pretty decent damage here. Okay, let's see. Okay, pretty nice. Let's go to that Doritos again. Pop back with Arlecchino. Now that's the last test, and with that we'll be ending the comparison. Pretty nice, but Mavuika was faster. Now the last test subject for today. Let me build the Bond of Life again here. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, building the Bond of Life definitely helped with the damage. So at the end, both characters are pretty great on their own way. It depends on what you have, what you want, and which character you prefer in general. Or maybe like me, both. Both is good. And tell me, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer playing with Arlecchino or Mavuika? Which one is your favorite character? And if you have any other questions or notes you want to add, you can write down in the comment section below. I'll answer them. And so that was everything for today. I hope it helped you, and we'll see you in the next one.